Welcome to this week's episode of the Retirement Readiness Podcast. This week, we're checking in on our New Year's resolutions. Let's dive in.
The Retirement Readiness Podcast with Tim Regan and Katie Umland. Presented by Prairie View Wealth and Tax Advisors. Live your 2-comma life.
So the accountability piece.
So you said that this is going to be like an uplifting. We'll leave here with like feeling good about things. And then you shifted to we're going to check in on our New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, we were going for motivational, but maybe this is going to turn into like your teacher is giving you your grade.
Yeah. No grades. We are all good, right? Yeah, I think it's good for us to kind of check back in because I think a lot of times for people, at least for me, it's really easy for me to sit down and have some thoughts around what I want to accomplish. New Year's, a lot of times people do that, but really at any point in time. And my experience is that if I write those goals down, I get much more likely that I'm going to hit them. And then if I actually check back in and relook at those, I also get much more likely to hit them. And so,
and like reignited in
absolutely.
It.
Well, and sometimes, one of the things even, I talk with our team about and my kids about, is a concept that Dan Sullivan, who is the owner of Strategic Coach, he came up with. It's called the gap in the gain. And what happens is many times we can sit here and focus on the distance between where we're at right now and where we want to be. That's the gap. We don't focus on where we're at right now compared to where we were a period of time ago. And that's the gain. And so what we need to do is every so often take pause. It's easy to beat ourselves up about the gap. Let's not look at the gap. Let's look at the gain and then reassess how do we continue to make progress and stuff too. So
it's easy, I feel like, to spend time in either of the zones.
100%.
And only see that zone.
Yep.
And I guess it's like a good reminder to spend time in both.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so like for me, I know, so as we're recording this, we're middle of February, towards the end of February. And I always set goals every year in 6 categories. I typically write 3 goals in each category, and then I'll sit down and I'll write down 3 habits that I have to change in order to come close to hitting those goals. And for me, for whatever this year, I have all of those goals in my mind. I haven't written them down yet.
Right.
So for me, this is my call to say, hey, sit down, write it out, because once you want it to happen, once you write it, you're like 100 times more likely you're going to actually commit to it and do it. And so
I have a very hard time committing to which of them I'm going to focus on. And I feel like I get caught often in like that, like, what do we say? Like analysis paralysis on like, what do I actually want to focus on? Like I have so many that I feel like, I can't. What if that's not the...
Well, and for me, that's where kind of writing down the habits that I'm going to change actually helps me with that. Because so for example, this year I'd like to lose some weight. But I'd also like to become more cardio fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also like to kind of watch what I'm eating a little bit, which will help with that. So if I, instead of focusing on what those goals are, if I now turn that into what are the habits that I'm going to change, I don't have to get excited about it. I just have to say, okay, today I am not eating any dessert after dinner.
Yeah.
That's my habit. I'm just not going to eat dessert after dinner. Or I'm going to walk 20 minutes every day on the treadmill. Well, if I focus on that habit, those other things are going to happen, right? And so for me, sometimes that's helpful to just say, okay, what are those daily habits that I'm going to try to implement rather than focusing on the actual goal itself?
This is where I struggle I guess it's a lack of commitment and not that like I can't commit to doing something or following through on it, but I'll have like 2 good weeks and feel like, okay, like I kind of have my hands on it or like I corrected enough that I feel better about it or like, we're heading in the right direction. And then I feel like, okay, what's next?
Yep, for sure.
And it's not really cemented or it's not really.
Yeah, it's not the habit.
It's not really a habit
then 4 weeks later, you're like, oh, wait, for 2 weeks I did that. That is not so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Or also like, I notice this a lot with myself with the kids. Like I'll tell Alex, like, it is a problem. Bedtime is a problem. I have to do bedtime all the time. Alex, the kids won't go down with Alex. They want mom to do it. So I'll get in this big, like, no, dad is doing it every other night. We're not doing this. And then like, they'll get sick and I'll be like, okay, well, I can do it 2 nights in a row because they're sick.
Yep.
And I can't like stick to, and I'll like make all these excuses, which don't feel like excuses
at the
time.
Yep. No, 100%.
And then looking back, it's like, well, if you're being committed to it.
Yep. Or also I'll make the mistake of, I wrote down the goal. So in my mind, it's done. Right.
Yes.
And so to write down, I want to lose 20 pounds. I don't really stop eating dessert after dinner.
Yes.
Right. Because again, in your mind, you can rationalize.
I just saw something that said, you don't tell people what you're going to work on, just work on it. And obviously we've heard that before, like let the progress do the talking.
Mm-hmm.
But what I saw was by every time you tell people your goal or tell people what you're working on, you get that dopamine hit.
Yep.
And like the exhilaration of that you did it and your brain thinks you've already done it.
Yeah.
And so it's no longer, you feel like you don't need to work on it to get that hit.
It's funny because I go both ways with it. Like sometimes for my biggest goals, I have to talk about them because if it's one of those goals, there's another person I'll quote, so his pastor, Mark Batterson, I've read a ton of his books, outstanding. He's part of National Community Church. They got a podcast, listen to sermons, read his books, outstanding. But one of the things that he says is that you should set your plans like they depend on God and then work like they depend on you. And so if you set a goal that is so big that it could only be accomplished if God intervenes, that's something you have to talk about because in my brain, like that is like, whoa, how could I? So I have to like legitimize it. I have to talk about it and get it out there and make it like possible and it's real and whatever. But then the second part of that is I got to work like it depends on me. Like I got to go to work. And so it depends on the goal for me. Like for some of them, there are those like, I don't know, private goals, if you will, that I'll just work on it. And when it comes, it comes. But then there's some of those that I have to legitimize it by talking about it and telling people about it. And it's kind of funny. Sarah and I, we talked our last episode, we had been in Grand Cayman for a couple of weeks and moving towards a month, hopefully in the next couple of years in the month of February. And that was a goal that was in my mind for a long time. That's been in my mind about this time in our life. We'd want to do that. And I didn't realize how much I must have verbalized it because the number of people that have said to me, oh, good for you. You've been wanting to do that for a long time. Like, and so for me, I think that all makes it real, makes it more like we're going to do this. But I think everybody's different in that. And like you said, sometimes it can be unmotivating because you feel like I already did it, but no, I really didn't. My belt still fits the same.
I was going to say, it probably depends on what the type of goal is, like a vain goal or a vanity goal.
Yep.
I can imagine being more fulfilled by just talking about it. And you feel like,
check it off the list.
More ego driven, I guess, maybe of a goal is more of like, oh, good. I get to tell people about this rather than like just do it
and show it up. Yeah.
But I didn't think about it in that way once I saw it presented like, oh, your brain is getting the hit of fulfilling that goal just by saying it. It's like, oh, I can totally relate to that.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, it feels good to talk about that.
Yeah. No, 100%.
When rather you should just let the results talk for themselves. And so that was just like a different way to think about it.
Well, and it's funny too, because like for me, a lot of times as I think about the goals that I set, sometimes talking about them actually holds me accountable. But again, it shouldn't be, for me, it's not me saying I want to lose 25 pounds this year. It's me telling somebody that my new habit is I walk every day.
Mm-hmm.
And now the next time I see that person and we're kind of talking like, hey, how's the walking going?
Right.
And all of a sudden like, I better get back on that. Right. And so it's almost like the talking about what you're going to do can help people to hold you accountable and in a good way and let you kind of make sure that you are sticking to it. And how are you? Are you the type that do you have all these ideas? I know. Are you like, let me write them down and map it out? Are you the girl that just says, no,
I have them in my brain for so long. I feel like I'm maybe a little bit similar to Dad in like internalizing it, like and working it through my brain constantly in the background. And so I'll work on it until it feels like I cannot keep it's spaghetti up there now. Like there's too many things. And then I have to write it down. And then it feels like more manageable. Like, and I kind of have to organize it a little bit, but I feel like I have to stew on it for a while before
just let it marinate.
I'm able to put it on paper in a helpful way.
Yeah. And in your house, how do you guys do goal setting? Because Alex is a goal setter.
He is, yeah.
And like, I feel like many of his goals are financial goals or that kind of stuff.
99.5%.
Yes. And my sense is that might not be the same percentage for you.
No. I think we're yin and yang on that.
Yeah.
Not entirely, but in much different ways. But my topic idea for today is driven by us not having the conversations that we've been said we were going to have for the
which is so hard
year.
when you have young kids at home, like finding the time to carve out to do that is so hard. And it's
mostly that the time is once the kids go to bed and at 8:30, I'm like, I don't want to start having a real conversation at this
we live
time of night.
Totally different lives.
Totally different lives. That's when you guys come alive.
Yes.
So no, but we have a plan. We've been saying like, let's have our year-end family review.
Yep.
Let's have our Q4
quarterly.
And it's been on our list since Christmas and it just is not happening. So we are going to Chicago for a night, just the two of us in a couple of weeks. So that's on our list of like,
so romantic.
I know, but it does. Honestly, it sounds nice. So like get to the hotel, have like a nice, like we'll have snacks, drinks, and let's like dive into the heavy stuff. But like, you always leave feeling like accomplished and then we can go to dinner, have a nice night, whatever. So I think in 2 weeks, maybe check back.
Oh, good for you. That's exciting. And was taking the trip to Chicago, was that like on the list of things like this is something we need to do for us? And so we're going to kind of set some goals around it, or did it just come up? Like, how did that work?
A little bit of both. We've been saying we need to have a night, and then our credit card gives us a refund for a hotel credit is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
For the credit card. So he was like, well, look, we're either going to lose it or use it. Can just use it. And so it was kind of like forced our hand at like, okay, well then we're just going to do it.
Let's do it.
We're just going to do it. So
that's so cool. Yeah. And so when you think about that goal setting process, usually for me, I get really fired up about it, really excited about it. And like I said, I set 3 goals in 6 areas. So I got 18 goals altogether. Usually those 18, at least half of them I continue to be excited about throughout the year, right? And there's some that fall off and what have you. How are you? Are you like, no, I'm excited about them always? No, hot and cold?
I definitely have to check in.
Yeah.
I'll get excited about it and then
life
fall
happens.
off. I let myself like go lax on it, and then I have to have a reality check.
Yeah. The thing that works best for me personally is I'll write them out on a sheet of paper. I draw lines. I draw like 6 squares on the box or in the paper. And I write out the 3 goals and the 3 habits, and then I actually laminate it and I just have it like sitting out, and then I can periodically look at it. I'll usually do a couple of those. We've got a treadmill at home in the basement, not used as frequently as it should be, but I'll keep one like there. So then like when I'm in the morning down there, I'm like, oh yeah, wait, this is why I'm doing this. And what else is on my list? It's like, if I don't keep it top of mind, it's so easy to wake up 3 months later and be like, oh yeah, that was supposed to be being worked on.
It's funny. Like for me, I kind of have to move that stuff around. Like I have different things in life, like reminders or like whatever all over the house. But if it's in the same spot for too long, it becomes stop seeing it.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's why like when people come into your house, they recognize, wait, why is that stack of mail over there?
Yes,
and you don't even notice it because the stack of mail is always right there, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like sometimes you need to like walk in like, oh man.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Fresh eyes.
Or like you have fish for dinner. And then like you leave, you leave to take the garbage out, and then you walk in and you're like,
whoa,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Because sometimes you got to get that fish smell out of your house.
Yeah. Highly recommended. Yeah. No, but you're right. And so for me, like I have to have some sort of physical reminder. I used to when I was younger. Actually, I'd write out my goals and I'd talk about write out like some of my habits. And then I would actually read them into like a recorder, and then I'd listen to them periodically throughout the day when I'm in the car, just to kind of, again, get them ingrained as like, hey, this is what you're supposed to be working on.
That's funny. I have never done that before, but recently, like I feel like I'm kind of maybe midlife crisis-ish.
I don't think that happens yet. You're far too young.
But kind of like I've been noticing some big buckets of things that I want to work on, like personally.
Yep.
And I recorded myself like talking about the annoying things that I do that I want to change.
Yep.
And like just saying it out loud, first of all, but also in my own voice and like hearing myself talk about it, like really helped.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
And like seeing myself talk about it and hearing like exactly how it feels, not just like seeing other posts about people talking about similar things. It's so different.
It's
like,
so different.
Okay. So I really liked.
Makes it real fast, right?
Yeah. And like, and being like vulnerable and honest, like saying it out loud is so different than like.
Yeah. My inside thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, oh, okay. That definitely worked for me.
And did you take it the next step? And did you play it for Alex?
No, but I really almost sent it to him.
Yep.
I really almost sent it to him, and I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But that is, I had in my head, I'm like, but see, that's the commitment part.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Because if you send it, then
yes, it's locked and loaded. It's done. Yeah. Well, and I think that's why, like times like today, I know that this is maybe more of a lighter kind of a conversation, but I think that these are conversations that actually give people the most mileage, if you will, or the most traction, because if you don't stop and think about how am I going to get this to work, where am I going, what do I want to do, like all of those things, those are the things that actually get you down the road where everybody can talk about, okay, here's my to-do list, let me check off my to-do list. But if we're head down, just check off, we don't know for sure where we're going and we're getting where we want to.
And I remember a couple of years ago, you talking to Alex and I, like he had this big goal that he was wanting to reach, and he reached it, and it was very exciting.
Yep.
And you said, okay, that's awesome, live it, but also write the next goal.
Yep.
Otherwise you're going to look up in 5 years and you're still living this,
the goal
from 5 years ago, because you aren't pushing toward anything. And I think that's totally accurate.
And that was hard for me. Like, you're in your 30s. And I think through my 30s, I had a really low point when it came to some of that stuff, because what happened was I had set a lot of financial and business goals, like build a nice house and own an office and like things that were, and it's like, as I hit those, all of a sudden, like, all right, what else do I need? You know, like it was hard to see to the next step. And I've spent a long time before I really felt fired up about what am I going to do next
thing? Yeah.
Which I think also is hard for people when they're in your life stage, because you get so consumed with the kids and so consumed. They got to make the donuts every day. And so it's hard to kind of take pause and step up and then look up and see out across the horizon what you want to do.
I think even maybe this is getting too much just for kids and or people in our stage of life, but it's hard to have any goals, which sounds so sad and silly to say, and like also kind of like an excuse, but it really feels like there are too many demands.
Yep.
And like, I know that sounds like an excuse, but it feels like it's so much pressure of like
100%,
especially for Alex, who's like, he's the only one who works. So it just is he is the only one that earns an outside income.
Yeah, that's true. He is not the only one that works. Totally. And in a business owner's perspective, they call that working on the business versus working in the business. And it's the same thing. You can work in your life, which means every day it's just, I get up and I run and I run and I run. Or you can say, I'm going to work on my life, and working on my life are the things like, for me, one of my goals is, I want to be able to water ski with my grandkids when I'm 90. Well, if that's what I want to do, then I had better be doing things today that are going to facilitate that, which means that I changed my workout routine. Instead of working, trying to lift the world and be as strong as I can, I now need to work and stay strong, but also focus on flexibility and balance agility and all of those things, right? And so sometimes if we get caught up in the working in life, we don't think about where is this going to lead me in the next 10 years? And is that where I want? Or versus where do I want to be in 10 years? And now how is my life shaped around the things that I'm doing to help me do that?
I think it's also like, not only is it, life is always demanding. Like, it doesn't matter what stage you are in. That's just an outlook and a view on life.
No, because I don't think you're right. Because in every stage, you're not saying, wait, once this happens, things will be easy. And then that happens, you're like, oh my gosh, no. I mean, once I get to here, That's the easy button. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's specifically like when you have young children, you have you have nothing outside of the kids.
Yeah.
And it is like, it is depressing.
Yeah. Well,
like truly.
Sure. No, for sure. For
like
sure.
It is hard to even think about what are goals because it feels like, man, the goal is bedtime.
Yeah.
Like even for Alex, who does have a job during the day.
Yeah.
It is like, it is all consuming.
Yeah. 100%. Well, it's funny you say that because Sarah and I were just having that conversation. And so like you're feeling kind of in the spot where you have all this stuff going on. So how do I set goals? And she, in a way, is in the exact opposite, where she's saying,
I have all this time. How do I set goals?
How do I set goals?
Yes,
right?
It's
like,
exactly.
Yeah. And what we found was, and I think I probably shared this last time, but what we found was when we went on I'll call it vacation, but when we were gone for 2 weeks, right down in Grand Cayman, what we found was I always thought that our ideal spot would be a single family home that we could go and rent and then live down there. And we found that we have all this time. We want social.
So, yeah.
We want people around that we can talk with, that we can do stuff with, maybe go to dinner with even but we never had that as an option because you were always tied up in the doing of life.
Right. Just a totally different mindset.
It is. And so it's the same thing that it's almost like she's running into the same thing that you're running into, but for the exact opposite.
Yeah. There's too many
reasons,
too many options. There's too many.
And I've never done this before. I've never been in this place before.
Yeah. And she's in a fishbowl.
Yeah.
Like a new fishbowl.
Yes.
Where it's like, well, I don't even know what I want life to look like. Yeah. I've never had the option to think about that. Like, so it's so.
Yeah. So it's so crazy how that works. But if you take your time and you can start thinking, and I guess I should say too, I will tell anybody that will listen that, in our family, she's the brains. Mm-hmm. Like she is the brains. But the way her brain works, it is not a 10 years from now, here's where I want to be brain. Her brain is, how do I organize? How do I structure? And what needs to happen immediately in front of me? And so for her, it's very easy to say, okay, I work out at 10, I make dinner at this, I do this is my routine. And so not everybody has the way that they're wired to think out and say, where do I want to be? But when she and I come together and we can talk about things, then I can bring some of that piece. Mm-hmm. She can help bring some of the piece that says, okay, here's how we get there. And it works out pretty well.
I guess
well
we're both Regans because I'm the exact opposite. I cannot think about today. All I worry about with the kids is but what about if we do that today in 10 years, this is what's going to happen if we do that. 100%. And Alex is like, or we could just put them to bed.
Yeah.
Like, like you don't have to always be
No,
long-term.
100%. Yeah. And so to where Sarah's really good at, and I learned from her around, what are the things you do every day? And how does that add to your ability to do the things that you want to? Like for her, she knows if she doesn't do cardio, and she doesn't do it over the weekends, but if she doesn't do cardio virtually every day, she is not the best version of her.
Yeah.
Now, does she like doing cardio? No. Does she like the effects of having done it? Yes. And so for her, that is a path to get to where she wants to go, but it's not because she's thinking 10 years from now. Yeah. It's much more knowing what she needs to do on a regular basis to live her best version of her.
Like you said, that's why you guys balance each other. Yeah. Like because for you, you'd always be seeing the city 10 miles out.
Yes, always. That's the analogy we always use, right? Like for me, I can look out and I can tell you're 50 miles out in the desert and you can kind of tell, I think I see some things up there. Maybe there's some buildings, then as you get a little closer, like, oh yeah, I can for sure see there's a skyscraper and a lower building. Then you get in and you see, oh, there's a train and then you get all the way and you're like, there's pedestrians and stuff and you can really see it. And for me, I'm always on the horizon. And virtually if I literally Sarah will get mad at me because I almost kill us when we drive in the city because I'm looking at the stoplight three blocks
ahead.
Up.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at the one that's right immediately in front of me because that's just, like you said, that's just how our brains work. And we're very fortunate that we have spouses that's not.
Well, like a little bit to land the plane. The exciting part about having a check-in at Q1 is that you still have so much time in the year or however you're going to be measuring your goals, but it still feels exciting because even if you are behind, it's still
and
early.
And it's one of those where if you go back to that concept of gap and gain, if I set the goal this year that I want to lose 25 pounds, and I get to the end of the year and I've only lost 15, I'm not going to celebrate that.
Right,
I certainly should.
Yeah.
I certainly should. And so even now, if you look and you're like, man, I started out the year really hot. I wanted to do this stuff. I kind of fell off. Yeah, well, that's okay. We still got a lot of year left. And look at the work you've already done. You've made progress on some of these things. So don't get discouraged. Head down, keep it up. Maybe go back through, rewrite them, look at them, read them, make sure that they're still empowering, and
maybe record yourself saying them.
Yes. And then forward it to your spouse.
And then, when you're ready to commit.
That's right. And this is something that we love to do. We love goal setting. We love helping people achieve their goals. That's what Prayer Review is all about. That's what Shatter Your Fishbowl is all about. So even if that's not your jam, give us a call because that's our bumper sticker. We'd love to help you with that.
Okay. I don't think we need to do any kind of catch up because I think the whole episode is maybe just catch up.
Yes.
So.
It was a fun episode.
I liked it.
Yeah. But I like all our episodes. Like
I was going to say, I say this sometimes, but I'm serious. Like if you do happen to listen to this, our podcast, what do you want us to talk about? Like, I feel like I'm always asking, like,
plug it in. Like,
we don't know what.
Let us know. Like if there's a topic, we'd love to talk about it.
Because we're constantly like, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah. Well,
today?
and we can spew on just about anything. So.
All right. Well, for real resources, head to pv-wp.com.
Be well.
The Retirement Readiness Podcast with Tim Regan and Katie Umland. Presented by Prairie View Wealth and Tax Advisors. Live your 2-comma life. Learn more at pv-wp.com. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to the Retirement Readiness Podcast on your preferred podcast platform.